What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here in Warframe. I got Nekros out, my 666 build, as you can see from the shield. AKJagara's Orthos Prime, and we're running our syndicates. Just wasn't really in the mood to put together any build videos. So I'm pretty much done with the pistols. So I will be getting that one out. But just a couple things going on in here. I will forewarn you now, your eyes will probably hurt by the time this video is done, as mine did by the time I was done recording this video. I don't know. I find that these operatives can be more of a nuisance sometimes. You know, like when they're carrying kastanas that seem to have a never-ending amount of ammo. When they consistently get in your way. They're consistently blowing things up and you can't see shit, as you can see. And then when we're in a mission like this now, I've left all of the new visual features on, so you will see the screen get dark and light and the colors and everything will change over and over, and this is a bit much. It's great when you think about it, some of the changes that they did do with 15.13, but it's a bit much, I would think, for most people. It is for me. I mean, the screen, wow. I did pretty good on here with my setup. I think I'm just about ready with my setup on Nekros, my new setup. Thing is, I don't really play Nekros very much on a what is that? A desecrate build, if you will. I just keep it in there with the rest of them. I don't, half the time I forget to do it. It took me a lot of thinking in this video to remember to actually do it, and then once I started to get into it, I started to remember to keep doing it. But I'm not like the big desecrate type of build type of guy. No. In terms of the clan, we usually let like Zetas go all out because he's got his whole desecrate setup going on, but you know, I couldn't really tell you if the challenge here is to do this mission, this survival mission against the infested, or if the challenge here is to be able to do this survival mission with the damn operatives and they're freaking I'm kind of at a loss on this. I don't know. So in terms of melee stuff, you know, when I did that melee video the other day, there are some things in melee that I think need some adjustment. Obviously, I think without a doubt, for almost everybody, stamina in melee is just not right. It's not done properly at all. And I think that there is no doubt from anybody on that statement. I know I left one of the medallions in that room, but at this point I have several hundred medallions in the 3 factions I run, that it's not necessarily a big thing for me to pick them up or not, because I've always done my syndicate missions Some of the other things that still bother me with the whole melee, a couple of the melee mods, you know, the specific melee mods where you have the channeling efficiency versus, you know, some other aspect, don't actually work well, they work, but the stats don't show inside of your arsenal when you're in your loadouts, when you're setting things up. And it's still quite annoying to see that all these months in, and you have several of these stamina changing mods or these channeling mods that don't actually show the stats. Half of them work in terms of showing the stats, the other half don't. Now that, I don't know. I call that lazy. There's no way around that. I just call that lazy. There should be no reason why all the stats do not show up when you put a mod on a card. You've adjusted that for your syndicate mods that didn't do it. You've adjusted it for some of the melee mods, but you haven't done it for all the melee mods. That I find is an issue. In terms of wanting to do like melee only runs, I don't, you know, you could sit here and do the runs over and over in, you know, however you set them up on whatever frame you do, however you want to, but, you know, I lost my train of thought. Too many things going on visually. One of the things that has gotten to me though is you can never do a true melee, or you could never do a true, how about this, we can never do a true single weapon run, whether it's just primary or whether it's just melee. I guess you could in a secondary stance do a straight run, because one of the problems that has always bothered me is when we've changed to the system where we can uninstall weapons or turn off weapons or not have certain things with us, that when you do go down, your Warframe automatically goes to a secondary weapon. Well, if you want to run straight melee, or you want to run a straight primary weapon, when you go down, it shouldn't default back to a secondary weapon being equipped that you don't have. I don't understand why you still couldn't have your primary equipped. I don't understand why in instances you couldn't still have your melee active when you're down on the ground waiting to die, you know, in the bleed out stage, if you will, and have use out of those. It doesn't really make sense why it locks into the the secondary. And I'll tell you, from time to time when that's happened and you get back up again, you suddenly can't use your melee. And when you're in, let's say, a melee only run, and now you can't use your melee because there was a bug, you pretty much screw yourself for the rest of that mission. Unless you've got a frame that's got really good abilities on it, which not every frame has proper abilities that can cover that type of issue. So I guess this is just a little bit of things that bother me a bit in terms of the game, and I just if you're still able to watch the video because of all the lighting and all the dynamic changes and everything that's going on in here, I give you tons of credit. I had a lot of fun doing this. And I'm mostly just right now playing around with the Orthos even though it's not the equipped. I keep going back and forth into the pistols. The infested here on Eris is, and these new infesteds are a real royal pain in the ass. I like the challenge of them, I do. But like I said, the whole way this system works now, with the dynamic lighting and stuff, you got to turn off some of these. The concept is great in my opinion of what you're doing, and you know, it's trying to show off how you can do things graphically and make the game much better than what it is. But in instances like this, oh my gosh, Sinister Reach, nice. Not the mod I was looking for when I came in here, but I went down. You knew at some point that was going to happen. I didn't mean to go right to Desecrate. Anyway, so those are just some of the things that I've got going on in my head that bother me in terms of, say, melee, in terms of how the mechanics work a bit. Nothing too detailed. Okay, I get a little stuck right there. This is annoying. I don't know. I just needed to basically relax a bit and just have some straight gaming for the night. So I was messing around with leveling my Frost up because I finally ran through Frost, ran through series with my AKs and got my Frost build, my Frost frame, and it's almost done. It's been, what, 2 years I never ran the Frost frame, so I did it, and it's all good. And that was one of those new ones. And then I've been playing around Nekros and just swapping stuff around and just generally just went in and had some fun. I needed to relax a bit, so it is what it is. And if you have any comments or questions, as always, please do feel free to leave them below. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching, as always.